Hello everybody, this is 99 Korea here, and welcome back to some more combat initiation. This time we'll be going over the guns. So, the paintball gun, the BB gun, and the freeze ray. Before we begin, we're nearly close to 1,000 subscribers, so it would be nice if we hit that, of course. And there's really nothing else to say. Let's get straight into it. Starting off, the paintball gun. A primary weapon, which you can get at the start of the game, or buy it later on. The paintball gun does 60 damage, but if you headshot, it will do 120. As well as this is a primary weapon, it can lifesteal. 3 HP if you body shot, and 6 HP if you headshot. So at this point, you should probably headshot all the time. It has a cooldown of 0.45 seconds, and the range is infinite, so you can hit anywhere in the map. The paintball gun also has damage modifiers, 150% damage against gunmen and emerald blasters, and 200% against noobs. As well, for now, you can't do any movement stuff with the paintball gun, but in a future update, you'll be able to shoot your feet and be able to have another jump, just like the slingshot. But right now, it's not in the game. And now, onto reactions and synergies. With the time bomb, if you shoot it, it will explode on impact, and creating a larger explosion and a little bit more damage. Same goes for the subspace trip mine, and as well the explosive pinata, but you need to shoot it 8 times for a full reaction. Another reaction is the ninja stars, or specifically the ninja stars kunai. If for some reason you fire the kunai and you didn't mean to put it in a location, you can shoot at the kunai and quickly retrieve it and can use it again, although it doesn't count as a reaction. Anyway, another reaction is with the slingshot. If you use the slingshot coin and then shoot the coin, it will go straight for the closest enemy. It is said to be the same with the flamethrower, just with an explosion. And now onto the last reaction slash synergies that I'll go over is the super ball and the cannonball, which if you throw it in the air by pressing E and then you shoot it with the paintball gun, it will go straight for the closest enemy. And of course the cannonball will do more damage. Just remember to keep shooting it and eventually your entire enemies will just disappear. Before I go into my own opinion, there's one more thing I'd like to discuss, and that is the enemy, the fireman. If you shoot the tank behind the fireman, it will one-shot them and they will explode, similar to the flamethrower explosion, and if you are in the explosion, it will do 40 damage. So best to stay away. And now onto my own opinion. Right, the paintball gun is pretty good, as you'll be able to do decent damage if you can headshot from any distance. So not even a single enemy is safe from the paintball gun. Even kill bots are not safe, thank God. As well, you got quite the variety, no matter which weapon you use. The only problem is you can't really move much with the paintball gun, but as well that's going to be fixed in the next update. I might even dare say it's on par with the sword, but as well thanks to the paintball gun, I'll be able to get that untouchable achievement, which that deserves a video in itself. But I will say, if you pick the paintball gun, you definitely picked a good range option. But as well, if enemies get too close, you really can't do much. Just remember, paint the world and your enemies blue. That sounded so much better in writing than actually saying it. Anyway, onto the next weapon. The next weapon, the BB gun. An upgrade of the paintball gun, and it costs 150 tickets. Its damage is the same, of body shotting is 60, and headshotting is 120. Same thing with the lifesteal. 3 HP for body shots, and 6 HP for headshots. The range is infinite, just like the paintball gun, and its cooldown is 0.5 seconds. But you can go even faster if you do a quick draw, which is just equipping and then shooting immediately. Now onto damage modifiers, exactly the same, 150 against gunmen and emerald blasters, and 200 against noobs. Now onto stuff that the BB gun can do. With the BB gun, if you consistently hit a enemy on the head, and it has to be the same enemy, it will do more damage. It can go up to 6, it does say 7 on the wiki, but I can't really get that certain damage for some reason. If you somehow know, tell me in the comments below. And so 120 damage for the first shot, 144 damage for the second shot, 168 damage for the third shot, 192 for the fourth shot, 216 for the fifth shot, and finally 240 for the sixth shot. And it goes consistently. But if you can find the 7th damage threshold, it will do 264 damage. While you're headshotting, you'll see this number here. This stacks up to 12, and then if it goes up to 6, you can be able to do the ricochet laser, which is just firing and then hopefully ricocheting to another enemy. And of course, the higher headshots you got, the more ricochets will happen. It does 250 damage normally, and if a headshot's 500. I'm gonna be honest, I still don't know how this really works, but hopefully this is mostly it. But now, onto reactions and synergies. It's still mostly the same as the paintball gun, same thing with the bombs, slingshot and flamethrower. You can retrieve the Ninja Star's kunai from shooting it, and of course shooting the super ball, make the super ball bounce straight to the closest enemy. But the cannonball, instead of hitting the ball itself, it will ricochet to the closest enemy, and of course this will do a headshot. And that's mostly it for the BB gun. And now onto my own opinion. If you are good at headshotting, this weapon is a perfect upgrade, mostly thanks for its rack up headshots, and of course the ricochet laser, especially if you have the cannonball, as you have a full stack of ricochet shots, and then fire it at the cannonball, you will do an insane amount of damage. And plus with its fire rate, especially if your quick draw is a third a second, you can do a lot of damage, but as well, you gotta get those headshots. So my highest recommendation is to focus on big enemies with the BB gun, and use a different weapon for like smaller enemies like the noobs, even though it does 200% more damage. And with all that, be polite, be professional, and have a plan to KO everyone you meet. Yeah, this is a quote from the shopkeeper. Okay, on to the next weapon. Now the last weapon of this video, the Freeze Ray. Another upgrade of the paintball gun, and it costs 200 ticks. It does 200 damage on headshots, and 100 damage on everything else. But that's not all. There is also a charge shot. If you aim for the body, it will do 150 damage. If you aim for the head, it does 300 damage. And if any enemy get hit by the explosion, then it will do 50 damage. And if you might have noticed, enemies do freeze if you shoot at them. Sometimes you need a charge shot to freeze them, and sometimes they just don't freeze at all. But don't worry, you'll do bonus damage if they do not freeze. So 50 extra damage for a basic shot, 155 bonus damage for a charge shot, and 239 bonus damage for the charge shot explosion. But when enemies do freeze, you'll be able to have the icebreaker effect, which does a lot of damage. Also the deep icebreaker, which is just for style points. That's all, no bonus damage. And you can imbue other weapons with ice, but I'll go over them on the reactions and synergies. Now the lifesteal, it does 5 HP per shot, 10 HP for headshot, 7 HP for body shot charge, and 15 HP for charge headshot. Its cooldown is half a second, but it takes 1 second to do a full charge shot. And as well, the range is infinite. The damage modifiers are completely the same like the other two weapons. So 150% on gunmen and emerald blasters, and 200% against noobs, even though the wiki only shows the noobs. And now onto reactions and synergies. It has mostly the same synergies as the paintball gun and the BB gun, but for example with the time bomb, you can imbue it with ice and it will do a lot more damage. And of course you get a reaction out of it. And you can even get a even bigger reaction if you use the firebrand and the freeze ray, as you can do both onto a single item. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, for all the bombs, if you shoot it with the freeze ray, it will stop the timer, and so you need to shoot it again, if you want it to detonate. As well, if you use a flamethrower, and you miss the canister, you can charge shot the canister on the ground, and it will do a bigger explosion, and of course do more damage. As well, it turns blue, which in my opinion is a better colour. And for something new compared to the other two guns, is if you charge shot the walls of the trowel and the hammer, you can break the walls and have the bricks fly on enemies. Talking about enemies, you can one-shot the kill bots, thank god, and you can do the instant kill for the fireman by freezing them and then going behind them and shooting the tank. And now onto my own opinion. If you want to do massive reactions, then the freeze ray is perfect for you, as you can stack imbuements like fire and electricity, and as well ice, and have some humongous damage. But also, the freeze ray does the most damage compared to the other two guns. And of course, instant kill bots, and make it easier to one-shot firemen at the cost of some cooldown. And that goes to both the normal shot and the charge shot. Although the charge shot can give you a pinch to get away from other enemies if they're surrounding you. But as well, as of right now, there is no movement option for the guns. And I will say, this is just the firebrand, the gun edition, also ice. but I will admit, it's literally the ranged version of the swords anyway. The paintball gun is the sword, the freeze ray for the firebrand, and the BB gun for the katana. But as well, it's personal preference if you prefer the freeze ray or the BB gun, and to be honest, I'm quite torn on both. Just pick which one is right for you. And that is the end of the freeze ray. Oh, you want me to say a quote? Oh, I'm sorry, freeze ray! How cold of me doing that to ya. But there you have it. And so the poll, as you might have guessed, was a complete yes, so we'll be doing all the weapons of combat initiation. So that's going to happen for the next couple of videos. And if you're wondering which weapon's next, it is the Super Ball and its upgrades. And also, hooray, I've got 1,000 subscribers now. And I'll definitely will do something when I complete all 7 of the weapons videos. A Q&A mostly, or maybe something else. But I gotta make the 7 videos first. And of course this is the 3rd one, so we've got 4 more to go. Should I have taken 2 weeks to make this? Of course not. This only took like 3 days to make. But you might be wondering why it took so long. Let's just say this game, Roblox Carts, got me a bit addicted. Future guide coming soon. But anyway, 1,000 subscribers, now let's try and get 2,000 subscribers. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, I want to see more, please like, comment and subscribe. And soon the Discord server will be available again, even though you can just join it from a previous video, but either way, thanks for watching, and bye. Have a great time.